Hello, hello. You can see that in my glasses, that light. There we go. Hello. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make some collage papers. And this technique, you're going to need a silicone mat that you use as a palette. So I use these silicone mats. And this is my paint palette. I've not quite finished working on this one. There's a few more spaces that I can fill. So this is what's used. And, you know, it's not dissimilar to jelly printing. And you can kind of use this as a kind of a jelly print in a way. And you get these from Amazon or eBay. They're not very expensive. I think I got 2 in a pack. They're about £7. Yeah, £7-ish. So that's what you're going to need, and then you use it as a palette so you can mix your paint on there. They're also washable as well, so you know, obviously that's the point of them, they're washable. Yes, so you can so you need those with your paint on them to begin with, and then you need some sort of paper. It can literally be any paper. It can be printer paper, it could be a newspaper, even just one that you've got out, you know, one that you've read. Magazine pages. I use books quite a lot. Maps you can use. I've used music paper, which is something I'm going to use today. Yeah, so there's loads of options. You can use wet strength tissue paper, like, you know, you can use all sorts of different things. So I hope you enjoy the video. Please feel free to like and subscribe and let me know what you think. Do you make collage papers like this? What other collage papers do you make? I'm planning another couple of videos of different ways that I make other collage papers. So yeah, let me know. So this is what we're going for in this video. I show you some more of these halfway through the next section of the video when I'm showing you how to make them. But you can use any, this is a bag, I think. This is literally a bag, a paper bag that I've got from like the pharmacy or somewhere that I've used. And then I've drawn on it. So I've drawn, you know, done some writing on it. And then I've used this as my paper to stick onto the silicone mat. So that's one example. Here is another example where I've used a book. A couple of old books, a couple of different old books here. This one's got some nice pictures in it, and then I've done the print of the silicone mat onto these book pages. That's the back of it, and you can see I've stuck a bit of tissue paper over the back, and it just gives it a little bit more sturdiness. You don't have to do that, but yes, so this is the kind of thing that we're aiming for. Okay, so I'm going to show you my process. I am shaking the camera already for making collage papers. Using these silicone mats. So I use these silicone mats as palettes. I got this technique from Marabeth Quinn. She's on YouTube. She does absolutely amazing courses. She's an absolutely warm and lovely person. And I really recommend her classes if you want to do some abstract landscape collage type classes. And actually she's, you know, one of the artists who's really inspired me into abstract landscape work. And yeah, she's amazing. Can't say anything, you know, bad about her at all. A lovely, amazing person. And she's who I kind of got this kind of technique from. So I'm going to just show you how to do it. So yeah, these silicone mats, they're not very expensive. You can get them from like eBay, from Amazon, and I use them for my palette. So I put all my, I mix like acrylic inks on here with glazes, obviously acrylic paints on here. And then what I do is, let me see. What map is that? As you can see, I'm really organised for this video. So what we're going to do is make this. So we're going to put glue on here. And then we're going to get some collage papers. So I've got this wonderful music book that I use. The Darkroom Handbook. I used to, when I was younger, I did a photography course. So I had this book, the Darkroom Handbook. And It's got some lovely images in it, some really nice kind of things in it. So I'll rip out maybe the more boring pages I rip out. Let's start here, look. So we'll rip out that one. Because obviously over the top, we're going to put that's quite a nice one. I wonder what's on the other side. See, some of these, I think I'll use those just as collage paper, not maybe without a, oh, what's that one? Yeah, let's use that one. So I've got a couple of sheets from here. So I do use other books for collage paper. So old books like this, I'll use and rip the pages out and just stick that straight in, or use it and stick it to one of these mats. And also you can use plain collage paper. So you can use wet strength tissue paper. You can just use normal tissue paper for this process. So let me rip out one. Let's see. It's gonna, oh, I love this, look. This is quite old, I think. Don't know how old. I think it says Ros Ratford on it. So thank you, Ros. This came from a charity shop. I wonder how old it is. I don't know, but she's just written there faster. Which I love. Love that. Okay. So yeah, if you can get old books with things written in them, that is the best. The best. So what I've got underneath here is just a white bit of card, just so that you can see what I'm doing, because my table's actually very messy, and I've realised on the last few videos sometimes you can't really see what's happening because the background's too distracting. So, oh, there, she's written slow there. So I'm gonna kind of put these on here so that they cover the whole surface, or just work out if I can get enough to cover the whole surface of this. Can you hear my stomach rumbling on the camera? Hopefully not. So that's what I'm going to go for, and I'm going to bring those back in a moment. I won't be able to remember where I've put them in a moment. So now I'm going to use glue. So you can use, and certainly Maribeth uses, glazing liquid, and this is a gloss one, but you can also use a matte one, or you can get like iridescent ones as well, and I have those, but PVA works just as well for me. I'm kind of this, most of this collage is going to be buried and have layers on top of it, and then I can, if it goes into a final piece, I can then glaze over the top of it. So I'm not too worried about the PVA. I mean, it's, is it archival quality? No, but I'm not worried about archiving anything right now. So, God forbid if any of my artwork should last, beyond my lifetime. A, I'm not going to be here, and B, I'm sure someone will work out how to preserve it if it's that important to them. So I'm going to use PVA, and I have used the glazing liquid for this, and I've just got this spatula, but you can use a brush as well. And you want to be quite generous with the glue. So spread that on all over. Make sure that all the paint has glue on it. Okay. And then I'm going to stick these on. So that was kind of here, I think, wasn't it? Probably not. Put that one there. And then put this one here. And we're just going to give them a really good squish down. So I've got a roller here that I can use, but you can just use I'll just move that. You can just use your hands and press them down, but make sure it's firm, so you're pressing everything down really well. Yeah, that has well and truly stuck. So what I am going to do also, so what I've got here is a bit of, so this is like plain newsprint. I might get some scissors out. Break the habit of a lifetime. And this just makes, you don't have to do this actually, and I've made collage papers without doing this before, and I'm just being quite rough. And actually you can use tissue paper as well, and I'm just going to put that on the back because it just kind of cements the whole thing together. For reference, this is the sort of thing that we're making. So this collage paper, so here I have used an old book. Here you can see, and I've stuck my tissue paper on the back. I've used this book that I'm using now, this photography book, and that's what it looks like. You can see these shapes coming through from the book, you know, these hands and faces, which I absolutely love. And this is not quite so, you know, you can't really see anything through it, but that doesn't matter because this in itself is just like glorious in my opinion. So this is the kind of thing that we're going to be making, and then you can use this in your work. So here, for instance, this one here, you can see this here is a collage paper that I've made using this technique. So this shape here is collage paper using this technique. So this is kind of what we're aiming for. Right. Helpful if I say that. To begin with. And then same here. Stuck on. So we're just going to throw a load of PVA on. Moving it about. Sometimes if I stick one end on, and then I can peel up and work out what isn't stuck. Okay, there we go. I'm just going to smooth it all down, make sure it's all stuck. And then what you can do is, so that I'm going to leave this to dry now, and that's probably going to be until tomorrow, or at least until later on. I might be able to peel it later on, but really you should try and wait for it to dry. So what you can then do is, if I flip it over, because it's see-through, you can kind of see the sort of effects that you're going to get. So you can kind of see here where these images are on the book that we've used. Sorry, I don't know if that's in the shot. You can see how the paint's going to sit over the top of it. This is going to be a little bit more or less see-through, so you're not going to be able to see the paper as much underneath. But you can really see here as well how this paint is going to kind of really just sit over the top of the music, and how lovely that's going to look. So I'm going to let this dry and then come back. Okay, so here we are the next day. I'm actually still in my dressing gown, which is my favourite. And this is now completely dry, I think. It looks still possibly like it could be a little bit wet in the middle, but I'm not bothered about that. I'm just going to take it off anyway. So now I'm going to peel off the paper, the collage paper, from the silicone mat. So I'm just going to do it quite slowly, and you will get some, that just doesn't take for whatever reason. So here there's just a little bit that wasn't quite stuck, but that's fine because I can stick those bits down. And I'm going to peel off slowly. As you can see, there's not very much that hasn't come off. Let me turn it this way. And then you can see the paper being revealed. There it is. So there we are. There is the paper. I absolutely love this bit here. what I might do is just get a little tiny bit of glue and just stick that. Oh, that's just fallen off. That's fine though, I don't mind, it's okay. So this is the paper. I'm just going to hold it up to the camera and see if you can actually get an idea of the sort of collage paper that we've made. And you can see the pictures underneath with the book pages that I've used, and some of it you can't, but I just love all of this texture. This pink bit here and orange bit is my absolute favourite. I love this red and yellow bit down here as well with the music underneath. So yes, this is the finished paper, and then I can rip this up and cut this up and use this for collage for my abstract landscape paintings. So I hope you really enjoyed this video. Let me know if you give this a go and how you found it. And I'll be back with another video very soon. Thank you so much.